Genoa riots facing serious jail time. Tonight, a decision on her fight for freedom. In-depth danger online, a teenage girl, sexual predators, and the internet. A shocking crime and how experts are saying to avoid the same thing. And our special series, 5 Nights That Could Save Your Life. Even the best drivers can make deadly mistakes. Tonight from the test track, how to stay safe behind the wheel.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Substituting tonight, Brian Williams.
Good evening. There have been warnings for years and some big fires, but dry tinderbox conditions this summer are setting up in a dangerous way for wildfires in the American West. There are at least 41 fires burning tonight across several states, the smoke visible from space. The heat from the western fires this summer is now being felt way to the east in Washington, where it's increasingly clear this is now a national problem. Our report tonight from NBC's Dan Lothian.
The West on fire. It's hot, dry, and blazing.
You can see where 80's closed down there.
Today in Northern California, a key highway surrounded by flames forced to shut down. A few homes threatened. In Oregon, where the governor has declared a state of emergency, $1 million a day spent to fight fires there. The summer weather playing havoc.
It's just hot. We're only at half the normal rainfall. Fields are very dry.
Campers just settling in for a quiet vacation have been forced out of the woods.
I wanted to be where we were. We had the perfect spot.
This latest satellite photograph, a dramatic view of fires burning across the West, most sparked by lightning. More than 300,000 acres burned so far. 8,500 firefighters on the front lines.
Fires moving quickly in the lighter fuels.
At the Northwest Interagency Coordination Center in Oregon, they see what's been a mild fire season suddenly exploding.
We believe we'll probably be in for a much longer season.
On a scale of 1 to 5, officials now say this fire season is a level 4, the highest ranking so far this year. Resources are so thin, help is now coming in from as far away as Minnesota and Alaska. Oregon's emergency declaration has also freed up National Guard troops to join the battle. And one day after Western governors and the Bush administration agreed on a 10-year plan aimed at preventing and suppressing wildfires, the president was touting the program at a stop in Colorado.
Through good forest management, we can do a better job of containing fire.
Back on the fire lines tonight, they worry that more lightning strikes could set off dozens of new fires, consuming tens of thousands of acres before they can be brought under control. Dan Lothian, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Here on the East Coast, it is often the opposite worry, battening down the hatches against another force of nature, hurricanes. NBC's Frederica Whitfield tonight with an experiment in surviving them.
Hurricanes, destructive and devastating. 100-mile-per-hour winds causing billions of dollars in damage. Today in Conway, South Carolina, this 3-bedroom house taking a direct hit. Not from a named storm, but from a force created by this powerful crane. It's all part of an experimental engineering project designed to test homes against the kind of force packed in hurricane-strength winds, known to rip off roofs and flatten houses.
It's a relatively well-built home for the 1980s.
Dr. Tim Reinhold is a civil engineering associate professor at Clemson University. He's leading the study on the benefits of retrofitting homes constructed before 1984 building codes that stepped up wind resistance requirements in southern coastal communities.
We'll get an idea of, would this stand up to a Category 3? Would it stand up to a Category 4? Would it stand up to a Category 5 type storm?
Storms like Hurricane Andrew in 1992, a Category 5, wind speeds up to 145 miles per hour, killing 15, leaving 250,000 people in South Florida homeless. And Hurricane Hugo, 1989, 160-mile-per-hour winds causing $7 billion damage. 2 years after Hurricane Floyd caused at least $6 billion damage in the Carolinas, Clemson engineers and students test 5.5-inch aluminum brackets secured in place with 3-inch screws. How do they withstand between 5,000 and 24,000 pounds of upward pull created by a crane that experts here say simulate the force of hurricane-strength winds? Roofs still lift, portions of the house still separate, but engineers believe that after a real storm, overall damage will be minimized.
It's not the board that breaks, it's the connections between them.
Final results from this Clemson study won't be ready until late November, around the same time hurricane season ends. Too late, forecasters say, to help protect homeowners along the Atlantic coast, already facing a 70% chance of being hit by a powerful storm within the next 3 months. Frederica Whitfield, NBC News, Conway, South Carolina.
Word from the Middle East tonight, Israeli tanks are massing for what appears to be another push into towns controlled by the Palestinian Authority. Just last evening, Israeli forces destroyed a Palestinian police building in the town of Jenin, which Israel says is the main training ground for this latest suicide round of bomber attacks. And in Italy tonight, very good news for the 4 Americans jailed after those deadly demonstrations last month at the Genoa Economic Summit, including one whose case has made international headlines. NBC's Ron Allen joins us live from Milan, Italy tonight. Ron, good evening to you.
Brian, here tonight at the Milan airport, there is good news for Susanna Thomas. After 23 days in jail, she is free tonight, along with 3 other Americans. All of them were arrested following the riots at the G8 summit in Genoa last month.
Hi.
Susanna Thomas at the Milan airport tonight, still in police custody, but finally heading home. Thomas, a 22-year-old student at Bryn Mawr College, studying on an abroad program in Paris, went to Genoa to do research for her senior thesis on nonviolent social protest and ended up in jail.
Your parents are very worried about you.
I'm well. I love them very much.
Back home in Warren, New Jersey, her parents relieved.
Hugger. The second thing is to say, I love you, I'm proud of you. And the third thing is to say, okay, what's next?
Thomas is a devout Quaker, a religion committed to nonviolence. In Genoa, she joined an Austrian theater group staging street protests. She insists she was nowhere near the violence during the summit.
The Folks Theater Caravan is a non-violent theater group. We are a free people's kitchen. We distribute meals to the public, and we make street theater. That's all we do.
Protesters turned Genoa into a war zone. $20 million in damage to the city. 200 injured. One protester shot dead by police. Thomas was arrested as her group was leaving town. Police say they found evidence linking them to the so-called Black Bloc, an anarchist group accused of masterminding the riots. The government here has launched at least half a dozen investigations into allegations of police brutality and wrongful arrest during the rioting. Already, 3 top police officials have been removed from their jobs. As for Thomas, charges of conspiring to incite violence are still pending against her. She may still stand trial and could face a possible 15-year prison term. Again tonight, Thomas insisted that she is innocent. She plans to leave Italy first thing in the morning, visit some friends in Europe, and then head home to New Jersey in the next few days. Brian?
NBC's Ron Allen with us tonight from Milan, Italy. Now to a case that's drawing a lot of attention here at home in this country, with time running out for a Texas man who faces execution tomorrow evening. His case is being closely watched, not only because he was a juvenile when the crime was committed, but also because the victim was the father of a federal judge, and that has produced a most unusual situation at the U.S. Supreme Court. Here with the story, NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams.
Napoleon Beasley is hoping something will stop his execution 24 hours from tonight. Although he's 25 now, he was just 17 when he killed a Tyler, Texas man, shooting John Ludig twice in the head during a carjacking. Ludig's wife, Bobby, also shot, crawled under the car to survive. Prosecutors say Beasley stalked the couple, then attacked.
He executed John Ludig. He thought Bobby Ludig was dead, and this is nothing less than a cold-blooded execution.
Beasley's execution would become the 18th since capital punishment was reinstated for an offender who was under 18 at the time. And his supporters say it's barbaric to put someone to death for a crime committed as a juvenile.
Adolescents, teenagers are still developing a sense of what's right and wrong, and they're still developing a sense of what the consequences follow from their actions.
Even so, 5 states, including Texas, permit capital punishment for 17-year-old offenders, and 18 more states allow it for offenders who were just 16 when they committed their crimes. Beasley appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court to stop his execution, leading to a very unusual division yesterday. Because the victim, John Ludig, was the father of a federal appeals court judge, 3 justices, Scalia, Thomas, and Souter, declined to take part, since they have professional connections to that judge. Of the remaining 6, just 3 voted in favor of stopping Beasley's execution, 3 against, 1 vote short of the 4 needed to delay it. Beasley is now hoping Governor Rick Perry will delay the execution, though Perry has declined all such requests in the 8 months he's been in office. Beasley's lawyers have gone back to state court tonight trying again to stop the execution. But after so many other appeals have failed, legal scholars say it's unlikely to spare his life. Pete Williams, NBC News at the Supreme Court.
Up next, as we continue here this Tuesday night, NBC News In Depth, 3 people arrested in a horrible example of how dangerous it can be for kids to chat on the internet.
There are people out there that have the ability to gain people's trust, and on the internet, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Predators online luring kids into dangerous situations. How can you make sure children are safe? That is In Depth tonight. And later, our special series, 5 Nights That Could Save Your Life, learning from professionals tonight how to survive during driving emergencies. First, the nightly question: how much did motor vehicle accidents cost this country in total last year? We'll have the answer a bit later on.
Who'd you expect? Bob Dole? Follow Mark Martin and the Viagra racing team this season.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
And for more information right now, race over to Viagra.com.
New Maalox Max challenges Mylanta Supreme. Who neutralizes more acid? Maalox Max. Relieves pressure and bloating. Maalox Max. Comes in 3 great new flavors. Maalox Max. 3 ways the right choice is new Maalox Max. Agree or it's free.
When you or someone you love is hospitalized, safety matters most. That's why doctors and hospitals choose Tylenol more than any other pain reliever. Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
Nature made it. Minwax makes it beautiful with rich wood stains and long-lasting protective finishes. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
Tired of struggling down glass after glass of powdered fiber for regularity? Consider refreshing glasses of water with FiberCon tablets. A whole lot easier to take.
And every bit as effective as powder.
FiberCon, refreshingly easier to take.
You'd try anything to get some relief from your nasal allergy symptoms. But before you change your life, make an easier change. Multi-symptom Flonase relieves all these nasal allergy symptoms: sneezing, itchy, runny nose, and congestion. Flonase once a day relieves them all day and night. For best results, use daily. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, or sore throat. Ask your doctor about multi-symptom Flonase. When you get it all it takes is Flonase.
Tomorrow on Today, Mary Bono. She went to Washington to take her husband's seat in Congress. 3 years later, she's proving her place is in the House, or maybe the Senate, only on Today.
NBC News In Depth tonight, an awful case of internet predators here in New York. 3 people arrested and charged with luring a young girl they met in an internet chat room. Online encounters that ended up, according to police, with terrible crimes. For parents, it is a nightmare scenario, and the question, how to protect children online. In Depth tonight, here is NBC News national correspondent Jim Avila.
This 46-year-old New York woman released on bail today after she and her boyfriend were charged with kidnapping and then sexually torturing a 15-year-old they met on the internet. Police say the high school sophomore was handcuffed and kept in a closet for more than a week in this Long Island home.
The victim is repetitively sexually abused, physically, and during the sexual assault is physically injured and is subjected to humiliating and dehumanizing acts.
The teenager told police she'd been exchanging internet messages with the couple for several months before agreeing to meet them. Prosecutor Dennis Dillon says parents be warned.
What happened to this girl, of course, was such a horrendous experience. And, parents should really pay attention.
Law enforcement says parents should regard their home computer as an open doorway to the house, one that predators are waiting to use for access to America's children. Put in perspective, 24 million American children between the ages of 10 and 17 regularly surf the internet. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says the number of predators arrested is relatively small, 785 cases a year.
The internet has represented a kind of sanctuary for sexual predators, a place where they could go with little risk of apprehension.
But the risk is growing for internet predators. Chicago today, 32-year-old Deontay Russell, arrested on charges he he attempted to lure a 15-year-old girl to a fast food restaurant for sex. Instead, he met the undercover police who posed as a teen.
His reaction was one of shock when he was approached by us and placed under arrest.
The FBI says the number of arrests has increased dramatically. Government agents posed as teens made 1,400 arrests since 1996. Their advice for parents, no computers in the children's bedrooms.
The key is they should always know who they're talking to. That's the key.
Catherine Tarbox agrees. At 13, she met a sexual predator on the internet. She was abused. He went to jail. She wrote a book to warn others.
I felt like all of my innocence was taken away that night in the hotel room.
Nights that can begin on a computer and end in a nightmare in the hands of alleged predators on the web. Jim Avila, NBC News, Chicago.
Up next as we continue here, America's worst nuclear power accident, 3 Mile Island, alarming new accounts of just how close this country came to an unimaginable disaster. And hundreds of sharks along the Florida coast tonight, and the question, what's going on here?
The pain was awful. I was missing my own party. The pain got so bad I wanted to lie down, but it just got worse. Then I rediscovered a real lifesaver, Extra Strength Bayer Aspirin. Nothing's proven stronger than Extra Strength Bayer on tough pain, not even a leading prescription. It's real relief I can depend on. And my doctor said Original Strength Aspirin can help save your life by protecting your heart. Beautiful.
Bayer. Take it for pain, take it for life.
Just because you're strong doesn't mean you can't be gentle. That's also true of Imodium AD. Gentler than you thought, effective as you think.
Guys, did you get everything?
Yep. They even had his school supply list.
Pencils?
Number 2's 10-pack.
Backpack?
At Staples, we have teacher-supplied back-to-school lists, so you'll find everything in one place at everyday low prices.
Honey, what's that?
It's a multi-function flatbed all-in-one printer, copier, fax machine, scanner.
Not on the list.
School supply lists. Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
For a book report or something.
Being first is never easy. Will I make it? Will I be laughed at? Will it be worth it?
The same caltrate that helps fight bone loss may help your colon, too. In a recent study, caltrate helped reduce the risk of recurrence of colon polyps, a risk factor for colon cancer. The same caltrate you take for your bones, now for colon health, too.
This scene was filmed using an extraordinary lip color, Max Factor's Lipfinity. A new, long-lasting system with permatone. First paint, then polish. While most lipsticks melt away, Lipfinity is semi-permanent. It lasts and lasts through almost anything.
After 8 hours of filming, I can vouch for that.
New Lipfinity from Max Factor, the makeup of makeup artists.
There's a bit of a shark mystery off the Florida coast tonight. Hundreds of sharks have gathered, in fact, in shallow water off Pasco County, that's north of Tampa Bay. Most of them are small nurse sharks and not dangerous, but observers have seen some hammerhead and bull sharks as well. Swimmers and boaters in the area have been warned to stay away, although some ignored the warnings. Scientists say so many sharks congregating in one place is quite unusual. There are disturbing new revelations to report tonight about the worst nuclear power accident in U.S. history, 3 Mile Island. A Dateline NBC investigation with new accounts by some of the people involved shows that this country came much closer to a major disaster than almost anyone knew at the time. NBC's Dennis Murphy reports.
It was the nightmare accident scientists assured us could not happen. But on March 28, 1979, the reactor core of the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant in Pennsylvania very nearly melted down.
Things were going wrong so fast, they never had a chance to figure out what really was happening.
What was happening was a stuck valve, allowing steam and water to escape from the reactor core. Without water to cool it, the core was getting hotter and hotter. If it became a superheated mass, nothing could stop it from melting right through the plant's concrete floor.
You would have geysers of radioactive steam blowing up through the parking lot.
The control room operators had no idea what had gone wrong. But outside the plant, utility officials issued bland statements about a problem solved.
The safety systems functioned as they should have.
But Dateline found a safety system of checks and balances in chaos. Government regulators, state officials, utility operators.
I'm sick and tired of getting these erroneous recommendations and getting false information.
Then Governor Dick Thornburgh was reduced to reading these wire stories to ascertain what was going on inside the plant. Even the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, in this audio tape obtained by Dateline, had to plead with an operator to get them past the busy signals at 3 Mile.
This is the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and it's a federal emergency that we get through to this power plant, please.
Meanwhile, the 500,000 people who lived in the towns around the nuclear power plant didn't know whether to flee or not. They weren't aware of this phone conversation on the third day of the crisis between one of the government's top nuclear engineers and the chairman of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
I think we ought to be moving people. How far out? Well, I'd get them downwind. I don't think you're going to kill any people out to 10 miles.
How close did we get to the big catastrophe at 3 Mile Island?
Well, we came about as close as you can imagine when half the core melted.
Since that little plumbing valve failed, not a single new nuclear power plant has been built in the United States. Dennis Murphy, NBC News, Middletown, Pennsylvania.
And the entire story on just how close we came at 3 Mile Island airs tonight on Dateline at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central. On Wall Street today, stocks drifted lower despite news that consumer spending is stronger than expected. The Dow lost almost 4 points. NASDAQ fell almost 18. We'll be right back here tonight with our special series, 5 Nights That Could Save Your Life. Tonight, take a test that could make all the difference on the road.
I'm every man.
And every woman who ever suffered from frequent, persistent heartburn.
If you've treated your heartburn and changed your diet, but the pain comes back 2 or more days a week, then you may think you know about acid reflux disease.
But there's something about acid reflux that I didn't know.
Over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't.
Now the makers of Prilosec introduce their new purple pill, Nexium. Just 1 prescription Nexium a day gives many people complete resolution of heartburn symptoms.
That could mean complete heartburn relief.
And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can determine if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. So talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and for a free trial certificate for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with the new purple pill called Nexium.
When my arthritis started choosing the notes, I thought my jazz days were over. But my doctor said keep moving with Advil. It's strong enough to let me control the pain. That's me playing again.
Take Advil and take control.
Who'd you expect? Bob Dole?
Follow Mark Martin and the Viagra racing team this season.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
And for more information right now, race over to Viagra.com.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today.
Should have used Preparation H.
New Preparation H medicated wipes with aloe, the easy way to cleanse, cool, and soothe. Easier because they're 4 times bigger than Tux pads. New Preparation H medicated wipes. Big relief.
When your skin sags, it can make you look older. Now you can take matters into your own hands with the new Rock Daily Firming Treatment, Proteant Active Pure. Our exclusive molecule, Proteant, is proven to work deep in the skin surface to lift and tighten. Your skin looks and feels firmer. Your face is visibly lifted in just 8 weeks. New Proteant Active Pure Daily Firming Treatment. Rock, we keep our promises.
New at 6, it's a race against the clock.
So now I'm back doing my penance for the 10 years of installing ones that didn't work.
How one county is quickly trying to fix area culverts. But will the project be done in time to save fish? Find out tonight at 6 on News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
Time now for our special series, 5 Nights That Could Save Your Life. Tonight, handling driving emergencies on the road, an approach that really works, something millions of Americans may already wish they were better versed in when you consider the answer to our nightly question: what was the total cost of all motor vehicle accidents in this country last year? The answer is a staggering $150 billion. NBC's Robert Hager has more tonight on how you can try to avoid becoming part of that number.
42,000 a year killed in accidents. America's love affair with the car turns deadly. But experts say lives could be saved if only drivers knew how to handle emergencies. One reason this motorist, nurse Christy Marquis, signs up for the Skip Barber Driving School in Lime Rock, Connecticut.
Is to make me a better driver.
And we go along too. The purpose, to learn from professional drivers under controlled conditions how to do emergency braking, to recover from skids, or to swerve to avoid an obstacle when your life could be on the line. 3 key, potentially life-saving maneuvers. First, brake. Do your homework. Know if your car has an anti-lock system, as many do these days. With anti-lock, Marquis and others in the course are taught in an emergency to slam the pedal to the floor hard. But in an identical car without anti-lock, slamming brakes only causes tires to lock up and skid. Instructor Rick DiOrio.
You'll go 30% longer if the tires are locked up.
Without anti-lock, the right technique is to brake fast and decisive, but don't slam the pedal down or you'll skid. Next, swerving if you must to avoid an obstacle. The rule: keep your foot off the brake till you finish steering around. Otherwise, you'll skid and may hit what's ahead. Finally, the tricky, often confusing business of recovering from a skid.
If you get into a skid, if the rear end starts sliding out, you want to steer into the skid, pause, do nothing, and then that momentum of the skid slows down, and then you straighten your hand.
Watch Christy correctly turning into the direction she's skidding, pausing a split second for recovery, only then steering back the way she wants the car to go. And beyond dramatic emergencies, experts say be aware of 3 common mistakes that also cost lives: tailgating or driving too close to the car ahead, failing to use seat belts or child seats, and not paying full attention.
Concentration is the #1 most important thing you can do while you're driving.
By day's end, Christy Marquis feels she's learned a lot.
There it is. Work your hands.
Look up. Nicely caught.
It's incredible. I mean, just little things really make a huge difference.
For Christy, for all of us, important rules that could save your life. Robert Hager, NBC News, Lime Rock, Connecticut.
There's more as well on the website msnbc.com. It offers a way of determining whether distracted driving has become a problem. Tomorrow night, as our special series continues, say you need surgery. You find the best surgeon, but do you realize there's another physician in the operating room that plays just as important a role in some cases? That's tomorrow evening. And that is NBC Nightly News for this Tuesday. Don't forget Dateline tonight at 10/9 Central. I hope to see you later this evening for the news on MSNBC. That's at our new start time, 8 p.m. and again each weeknight on CNBC at 10. I'm Brian Williams reporting tonight from New York. Good night.
Nightly News is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
Next, more trouble for school board member Derry Jackson. This time it's his personal finances. Plus, high winds fan dozens and dozens of wildfires across Oregon. A live report from one blaze growing in southern Oregon. And sad news to report tonight about a severely burned cat. There's been a major development even just since 5 o'clock. And the news at 6 starts right now.
From KGW, where the news comes first. This is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
Hello, I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Tracy Berry. Thank you for being with us. Our top story tonight. First, he made controversial comments about Jews. Now, Portland School Board member Derry Jackson finds himself in trouble again, this time for an overdue tax bill. News Channel 8's Randy Navs is here to explain why critics are harping on Jackson's personal woes. Randy?
Well, Jackson is a public figure who represents public schools. The money he is not paying for property taxes would have gone towards school funding. And philosophically, critics say that makes Jackson a hypocrite.
Already in trouble for saying Jews, quote, run everything, Portland